If you're looking for an egg-free cookie recipe that's quick and easy to make, you have to try these Middle Eastern shortbread cookies. Hey everyone, I'm Yumna, aka Feel Good Foodie, and I grew up really only knowing and eating Middle Eastern sweets. This shortbread cookie, also called Ghraybeh, was one that my mom made often because it only required a few ingredients, a bowl, and a whisk. It's made with flour, sugar, and butter, and then usually topped with pistachios or almonds. I'm sharing with you a little twist today by adding some rose water to give the cookies a sweet and fragrant flavor, and adding jam instead of nuts. It's delicate, delicious, and perfect for the month of Ramadan or any time of the year, especially with a cup of tea. So let's dig in. We're gonna start by whisking together the butter and the powdered sugar. So what you wanna use is unsalted butter preferably, and you also wanna make sure that the butter is softened, not melted, but softened. Softening the butter is really going to make it hold on to that flour and create just a perfect airy consistency. So this is some softened butter, and I'm gonna add to it the powdered sugar. So it's 1 cup of butter to 1 cup of sugar. You can also use ghee if you wanted to, and if you end up using ghee, it does have a little bit less water content than regular butter, so you can decrease the flour by 1/4 of a cup. But butter works perfect. We're going to cream together the butter and sugar until it looks like buttercream frosting. And while this is not essential to the recipe, try adding just a teaspoon of rose water to the butter and sugar mixture. It just gives it that quintessential Middle Eastern flavor. Now give it one more quick mix. And now it's time for the flour. I'm using all-purpose flour here. I don't recommend cake flour because the consistency is just way too fine. And I don't recommend self-rising flour because it comes out too crumbly. So all-purpose works just perfectly. Even though only 1 teaspoon of rose water was used, it's so aromatic and you can really smell it even after adding the flour. And feel free to just use your hands to mix that dough really well. And you're looking for a cookie dough type of consistency that holds well together. So just grab a small ball and just try to roll it up with your hands. And if it sticks together like this without any cracks, you know it's ready to go. What we want to do now though is we want to make sure to chill the dough for about 45 minutes to an hour. And what that does is that it helps the butter kind of solidify again so that it doesn't spread too much when you bake it in the oven. The dough's been resting for an hour, and now it's time to go ahead and form them into little cookie balls. This will actually make 24 cookies, and I like to use a standard spring-loaded cookie scoop. This is about 1 to 1.5 tablespoons. So the dough is going to be a little bit firm, so I recommend using your hands to take it out, and then just using the cookie scoop as more of a measuring tool. So just form it in there to measure it out so that all the cookies are about equal sizes. And then you can pop it into your hands and roll it around until there's no cracks in the cookie batter. And it's more traditional to add a pistachio or an almond right in the middle, but instead what we're gonna do is we're gonna add some jam. So I'm gonna use my thumb and just kind of form an indentation right in the middle, just like that. So this is what we want, and we can go ahead and add it to the baking sheet. These cookies are not gonna expand too much in the oven, so you can actually put 12 on a standard quarter cookie sheet, just about 2 inches apart. So I'm just gonna take about 1/2 teaspoon of the apricot jam and place it inside the shortbread cookie. And now we're gonna pop them in the oven at 350 for about 10 minutes until they're puffed up and very lightly golden at the bottom. All right, they just came out of the oven and I let them rest for about 10 minutes, and here is the final product. You can see that they don't expand too much and the color actually stays pretty white. So this is what they're looking like. So cute and so delicious. Now what I like to do to serve them is I like to add some crushed pistachios. And this way we still get that hint of pistachio that the recipe is known for without it being in each one in the center. All right, time for a taste test. It's light, sweet, and buttery and tastes just like a shortbread cookie, but with a little hint of Middle Eastern flavor from the rose water and the apricot jam. I told you it was gonna be an easy recipe, and the results speak for themselves. So if you're looking for a new, simple cookie recipe with some Middle Eastern flair, I hope you give this Ghraybeh a try. There's so much to love about these cookies, from the minimal ingredients to the delicate texture and aromatic flavor. Let me know in the comments if you've had this before or if you tried after watching this video. And if you found this tutorial helpful, please share it with friends and family and subscribe for more feel-good food. See you in my next video.